What's up, everybody? It's your favorite web slinger's favorite nerd, and today we are looking at the Spider-Man Marvel Legends wave that just recently dropped with the Lizard Build-A-Figure. We're going to look at these four today, the other three on Thursday, and the Build-A-Figure on Friday, I think. Or maybe the Build-A-Figure will be on Sunday, because I got some other things I want to get out. So we'll see how it goes. Either way, by the end of this week, we'll have all of it looked at. But since we're doing four today, let's get started. And we're going to start with Prowler. The cape, I guess, is kind of an accessory. I'm not crazy about how it kind of sits, like how they ended up doing this. Like, it doesn't, I don't know. It doesn't do it for me. It doesn't, like, translate well, I feel like. It doesn't quite pull it off for me. There's also, like, the way that this figure is put together. I think it's going to be fine, but I just wanted to show you. Like, the calf is backward, so let's rotate that around to the front, and then we'll rotate the foot around 180 degrees, and yeah, it's fine. But that is funny to me. So let's talk about the figure other than that. The head sculpt, I love. I love, like, the wrinkles in the nose, like pulling the mask down across the face. Love it. Love the sculpting that's done, like, on the eye bits, and then the eyes are painted well. No issues. I do have an issue where the purple meets. As you can see, the circle isn't complete. They're like, it's such a stupid thing, but it happens all the time. Arms are, head is on a ball hinge. It's not my day, is it? We should just get back in bed. Head is on a ball hinge. You get up to there, which isn't much, but it does keep the sculpt. Down to there, and then the swivel. So, it's okay. No attitude really on it, but it looks good throughout. As far as articulation is concerned. Sometimes articulation takes out it destroys the sculpt. This does a pretty good job. We have disc-hinge shoulders. That gets you up to there. Maybe a bit more. No, I think not. And then, good grief. All the way around. Bicep swivel. Double jointed elbow. And then wrist swivel, hinge, and out with the claw hands, which is appropriate, and that's on both sides. Detailings-wise, the hand has that, like, metallic purple paint finish, which looks great, and then you have these floating bits for the gauntlets, which I guess is fine. Not my favorite way for them to do business, but I guess it's okay. Same for the other side. The purple metallic looks great, though. Now we have the chest bit. Once again, I love the wrinkles on the suit. I've said that before. The paint symbol on the suit is done clean and well. You get an ab crunch and the paint continues up, so that's nice. And down a good bit. So all that works well. Floating belt, metallic purple that hides the seam, so no issues there. You get your waist swivel, no issues there. T-jointed ball joints for hips get you out to there. Thigh swivel, forward and back to there. So I'm good to go with that. I love all the wrinkles throughout the suit. I've been saying that with a lot of there. It doesn't look like just a naked buck, so to speak, so I've been digging that. Double jointed knee, no issues there. You get a calf swivel, and then you have the ankle tilt up, down, and the rocker, and then you have these gauntlets here, which at least they don't get too obnoxious in terms of their floating. Like, they're kind of locked in between two places, which is good. All things considered. So not a whole lot of bells and whistles here, just sort of a straightforward but fairly well executed Prowler. It just kind of, it's just Marvel Legends kind of doing its lowest common denominator. And then we have Spider-Woman, and I think this is the Jessica Drew Spider-Woman. I don't know much about this design, but I think it's the same kind of Spider-Woman that we're used to seeing in Avengers, which is fine because I'll keep her for, like, my Spider shelf, and I'll have the, like, kind of traditional Spider-Woman for my Avengers shelf, and that'll work okay for me. Head sculpt looks good. It has these glasses. I don't know if you can take them off. Oh, I think I just broke it. But, or maybe I just unglued it. It's a great face sculpt. So it's a shame that they had to cover it up with those glasses. Now, that is design, but that face sculpt and the paint on around the eyes and everything is spectacular. Really, really, really well done. The glasses themselves are a translucent orange, and, there's always problems with doing glasses on figures. Like, it's like hats on figures. It can be very challenging to pull off and make look good. So these, I feel like, don't sit Oh, there they go. So that's, I mean, it's not hateful, but I'm not sure if it's worth the, I mean, you got to do it, right? You got to do it. So head is on a ball head. God. Head is on a ball hinge. You get down to there. Not too much back because of the hair, and then you get the swivel. You have the suit, you have wrinkles in the suit. The Spyder is actually sculpted in the suit, the Spyder design, so that's cool. The belt is actually sculpted as well, but it's like a slightly off at the two parts, and the orange could have probably used a second coat. The black looks good on it, the red looks good on it, the silver buttons along the top look good on it, the wrinkles in the suit look great. It's just really this belt and where it meets that causes more of an issue. And then since they were sculpting all this, it would have been nice if they sculpted a seam along where these two materials meet between the red and the black. You have a ball peg for the abdomen, so you get a, it's fine. And you get a swivel. You don't really get much down, or you get a good bit back, but not much forward. And then you get a side to side and all that kind of stuff. So it's fine. It's not great, but it's fine. And then you have ball hinge shoulders that get you out to there and around. You have a single hinged elbow that gets you your bicep swivel, and then a wrist on a swivel and hinge in out. And then she has a holding hand with nothing to hold. You know, I hate that. And then she has red paint on her fingers and flesh paint on the hole in her glove. It's not done extremely well. The red is done good. The flesh tone is not. There was probably an issue in trying to cover up the black. As a result, it goes outside of the lines of quite a fair bit. It gets on the joint. It's not really well done. Same actually for this side as well. T-jointed ball joints for hips get you out to there, front and back to there, thigh swivel, double jointed knee, ankle tilt up, down, and rocker. So no issues there. Once again, it would have been nice to have the boots sculpted on, but you know, it is asking for a bit much. This is black painted on the red, which probably works better than the red painted on the black. So I think ultimately that was a smart idea. Do I wish it was done a little different? Sure. Do I wish the boots were sculpted and all that? Yes, absolutely. But not a whole lot of tricks once again, but we do get some new sculpt stuff here, and I think it's pretty accurate. Next up, we have Mysterio. He comes with these two things. They clip around his forearms. I guarantee you'll see more of these in the future in some regard, but you got like tentacles and stuff sculpted in. You got the smoke, you got the little like spirally things. So there is a lot of love here. I do have issues with trying to get them to stay on and stuck on in a good sort of way, and that also look like kind of believable. But they do work fairly well around the legs, which is where they're intended to be. It would just been nice if you could have added to both. You also get the cape with the fishbowl, which is nice, and the fishbowl is a little cloudy, which I think is nice as well. There's all this design work that's sculpted in the cape, which I think is nice, and then the wrinkles and stuff in the cape all look good. I do have to point out, though, another thing I don't like about it is like when you have the cape fully pegged into the back. Let me see if I can show you. So like that's straight in. Then this bit ends up sitting too far off his chest. So I'm probably going to cut the peg off and try to get it to just sit as flat as possible. So that's a little obnoxious. And then you get to see under the fishbowl, which is it's beautiful. Then again, maybe I'm biased, but it actually is a good sculpt. The skull looks great. You got the tentacle that kind of wraps around one end, goes into the mouth, and then probably comes out of the eye. You know, and then it's glued into the eye. Like it's really cool. Ball hinge head gets you down, up. Of course, you lose most of it with the helmet on, but that's, I guess, to be expected. This figure would benefit greatly from a wash, you know, to get inside all of those lines, but we do get the Mysterio suit like completely sculpted, which is nice. Tolerance-wise, I got a little bit of loosey-goosey lower calves. I'm not sure if yours are like this as well, but I'd be interested to hear. And otherwise, kind of business as usual. Let's talk about it. Ball hinge shoulders get you up to there. Bicep swivel, double hinged elbow, wrist swivel, and hinge in out. We do get this nice sculpted piece here, which is its own piece that sorts onto the forearm into the wrist, and then you have a wash on it, it looks like, as well, to kind of bring out all those sculpted details, which are the same sculpted details that are in the cape, so I dig that. Same for the other side. Ab crunch down, back, waist swivel, T-jointed ball joints for hips, get you out to there, forward to there, back to there, thigh swivel, double jointed knee, calf swivel, ankle tilt down, or down, up, and rocker. Now, this is one of the figures that's kind of most, I think, sought after, I hear, from this set, and I know it was one of the figures that was, or characters that was most looked forward to, and it's nice when you have a character that's kind of sought after, that ends up being pretty well done. Now, this is this swirly plastic here for the, and my joints are a little loose, so those are a couple things to consider. But it is nice that you got all the line work sculpted. It is nice you got the cape all sculpted. It is nice that you had this little couple, like this metallic purple here, that the head underneath the fishbowl was sculpted. That's a nice touch. I wish they would have done some of that metallic paint down here, or that metallic plastic they've been using for the boots. I think that would have looked nice. But aside from the joint tolerances, which could be, and individual results will vary, there's no way for me to know, unless I hear from other people. It's pretty well done. And next we have Spyder Noir, which I think is mostly other pieces being used to make this guy, with the exception of a new head and this little collar piece here, which is nice to integrate a couple new things in order to kind of spice it up. But I feel like I've seen most of this before. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not good with that kind of stuff. Heads on a ball hinge, you get up to there, down to there, side to side. It is nice sculpt work, like you got all the stitching done in the mask up here, and then the goggles are all sculpted. The silver's paint on the goggles, and you have the gray paint on the face piece. All looks really good. You have the trench coat, which is a floating piece that the arms kind of hold in position. The trench coat, I feel like we've seen like on Nick Fury and stuff. You got the big collar, it's all sculpted, and it's fine. And then you have an ab crunch. You get down to there and back to there. You do have buttons and stuff and a little suit design sculpted on there. I feel like I've seen that on Star-Lord. Maybe a Bucky too. I'm not sure, but I feel like I've definitely seen that on the comic accurate Star-Lord. Then we have ball hinge shoulders with the jacket shoulder piece. You get up to there, bicep swivel and around, double jointed elbow, wrist swivel, and hinge in out for both. I would have preferred up down, but I guess it's fine. You got two little laser pistols that he comes with for accessories. They're gray plastic and no bells and whistles whatsoever, but the trigger finger hand or finger is separated on both hands, so you can have him hold both guns and make it look accurate, as opposed to ridiculous with one hand gripping the other gun like this. Yeah, the waist swivel. The belt is sculpted, looks great, and painted. And then you have a holster that can hold one of the guns. I wish you had two holsters, but it's fine. T-joint and ball joints for hips, get you out to there. Thigh swivel, double jointed knee. And then you have the boots that are not cut, so they're part of that lower sculpt. They're sculpted well. My joint here for the ankle is, I'm going to have to heat it up because there's no give on this one. On this one, you get the ankle tilt up, down, and rocker. I've had too many Marvel Legends ankles snap off on me when I've gone to kind of force them when they've been tight like that, so I'm just not gonna push it. This is definitely a figure for me that I had to buy just to get the Build-A-Figure. I don't really know anything about this representation of Spider-Man or what he's about. He's okay. He's kind of like this wave in general is kind of okay, but I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It's certainly not the best I've ever looked at. Final thoughts wise, it's pretty well done. The issues that I have are I'm not crazy about the way that the capes sort out for either of the cape figures. The gauntlet things on Prowler are obnoxious. I get it, but it's just sort of a cheesy way out. I wish the Mysterio would have had a wash to the body. It would have really brought out the depth in the suit. And I kind of wish I was more interested in the Spyder Noir figure, so I'm not going to really hold that one accountable for my kind of disdain for it. I just have no interest. But I had to get that lizard piece. And of course they put the tail with Gwenpool because they knew Gwenpool would be a sought after figure. It's neither here nor there. It is nice to get a Prowler figure. Prowler was always a favorite of mine when I was reading the comics back in the day, like the Spider-Man stuff. I just like the character design. Mysterio has been a long sought after kind of character, so it's nice to have him, and he is pretty well done. I love the skull underneath. I love the fishbowl with being clouded. I love the wrist gauntlets and all the sculpted work that went into the suit, so I dig all that. The Spider-Woman figure is actually probably like objectively overall the best done here. And then the Spyder Noir figure is kind of just, it's fine. It's just not very exciting, and it doesn't perform exceptionally well. So they're all worth getting if you're into the characters. If you're not into the characters and you're trying to build the figure, well, I'll let you know about that soon. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.